Well, I've decided to carry on from where I left off yesterday. So, owing to a slight technical hitch, well, that's not strictly true, owing to the fact that I'm an idiot and I ignored all of my low battery warnings, I ran out of battery about there. So, the live stream yesterday ended rather abruptly. So, by way of compensation, I thought, oh, that's interesting. I thought I would go for a walk along the road that we call the resort road. So, in a minute, we'll be taking a walk up the main road, which runs parallel to the beach, which is about 100 metres over there. And we'll walk up the main road, show you some of the hotels and some of the resorts, where if you come to Russia as a tourist, or if you come to Anapa as a tourist, that's pretty much where you will go. You'll book a hotel along there or a resort, and that's where you go. So, I think we're having some fun. So I thought I'd show you the area. Nicoletta, morning. How are you? Kakdila. Yeah, regarding the recipe for borscht, I think there's so many varieties of it that you're better off looking it up on the internet. I think my wife does a special kind of borscht, especially for me. So wasn't a lot of point in me asking her for the recipe of it. So yeah, just Google it. There's lots of different recipes, but yeah, it's lovely. I love it. So there's where we ran out of steam yesterday. That's the inland waterway that comes from the beach. And you can see, hopefully, just about there, that's the new pedestrian bridge that they've built since the storm last year. Because it was just a rickety old wooden thing, which fell down, and they've built a nice new one. It's a lot wider, much more substantial, and then they've clad it in stainless steel, so it sort of blends in quite nicely from a distance. So it's not an eyesore, which is quite nice. And this is one of the little inland lakes, ponds, whatever you want to call them. There's lots of them around here. Lots and lots of places for people to go fishing, which is a favourite pastime, it seems to be. There's always somebody fishing somewhere. That's where we are. Hannah. This is Anapa. Yeah, try it, Nicoletta. You won't regret it. It's lovely. And that's coming from a guy that's not really a fan of beetroot. But yeah, it's lovely. Really nice. What time? What time? Time here is 1:30 p.m. So 13:30 hours. And we're going to be taking a wander up this road. As I say, showing you some resorts, some hotels. And depending on how many people come into the live will depend on how long I go walking for. I'm hoping not many people, because regular viewers to my channel will know I'm not a fan of walking. My wife bullies me, makes me go out walking. It's not my favourite pastime, if I'm brutally honest. Now, I'm on a cycle path now, so I shall get over onto the footpath. And this is new for me as well, because I've never walked up here. I've been the other side. In fact, we stayed in that hotel just there, called the Grand Sapphire. And the Grand Hotel is there. So that's a 5-star hotel, right on the beach. Very nice, looks very posh, lovely balconies, etc. I'm going to wander in there one day and ask if I can film. I've been into the Grand Sapphire, The other week, just did a couple of videos inside for a friend of mine that was looking to come to Anapa for a bit of a holiday, and I can recommend that hotel definitely. Grand Sapphire, it's called, in Anapa. Lovely staff, really friendly. Location is perfect, right on the edge of town, so it's quiet, but an easy walk into town. It's 100 meters from the beach. Nice restaurant inside, indoor and outdoor swimming pools, gym, and the rooms are really nice and well presented. And then you've got an outdoor section, which is more like sort of holiday apartment kind of things, which surround the pool, and it's just really nicely done. So I would recommend that. Like I say, we've stayed in it, thoroughly enjoyed it, and the staff, as I said, are lovely, really, really helpful and friendly. Oh, rubbish bins, we do love a rubbish bin. Greetings from Russia. Greetings from Russia to Russia. Incognito? Could be. Rusty gear, beautiful. Thank you. I've been called many things. But this is, like I say, the main, I wouldn't say it's the main road, but it is the main road for the hotels and resorts. There are lots and lots of hotels available, but predominantly this road goes on for, well, quite a few miles, to be honest. This walkway goes on and on and on. And there are lots of options. Because Anapa is a resort town, and you're going to get to see the good, the bad, and the ugly up this road. What's quite common in Russia is to come across buildings in, what should we say, an unfinished state of construction. There you go. And that's for various reasons. Sometimes it's because, you know, people ran out of money and the project got shelved. Sometimes it's because it's just on hold at the moment. And sometimes, back in the day, from what I understand, developers would acquire land and start building on it without the relevant permits, just because they could, they thought. And then they get to a point where the local town goes, yeah, no, you can't really do that. So it grinds to a halt. And I think they probably thought that because they'd got a building up, oh, look at the pussycats. So Anapa is a town known for its cats as well. There's an awful lot on the seafront, the other side of the town, but they're well looked after. There's no skinny strays. There's always somebody coming and feeding them and watering them, and they live a pretty good life, to be honest. I don't really think they have a worse life than anybody's pet cat. Not at all. In fact, it's probably a lot better. Where was I? I was waffling about something. Yes, construction. So quite often you will find a nice piece of land potentially, or it's all overgrown and it's got a half-built building, and that's from residential level, dacha level, right the way up to big commercial projects. And you'll probably see some today. Obviously, some kind of outdoor venue for 500 meters, that says. I don't know what it is in 500 meters. But yeah, some sort of outdoor venue for some concerts maybe, or shows, etc. And oh, we're just about to come up to exactly what I was just talking about. You can see it through the trees there. And this looks to me like it was going to be a large resort, holiday complex, and has been shelved halfway through construction. Maybe not even halfway, got the outer shell up, and then it's ground to a halt for whatever reason. I also think a lot of the reason that this sort of thing happens is because Russia is really big. It's a huge place. So certainly where I come from in the UK, it just wouldn't really happen because land is so valuable. So even if it became half finished, somebody would buy it. Whereas here, just buy another piece of land somewhere. But like I say, I know there has been a lot from the town council that has they've stopped a lot of construction, and there's been a lot of rule changes. Whether that's the reason for this place, I don't know. But you can see this was going to be a very big resort, and now it's just derelict. Lots and lots and lots of apartments would have been in here, or it might have been back in the day, potentially a sanatorium, not a sanitarium. Don't get them confused. Not for nutters, but a place where people go for treatments. Again, very popular in Anapa. There are a few sanatoriums around for disabled people, for people that have got various ailments, and they'll come here for a week or two or a month to get some treatments for their medical issues and just to sort of relax in a caring environment, if that makes sense. So it's quite a common thing. So it could have easily been a sanatorium, but as I don't know, I'm going to guess and say maybe. Is this your opinion of Russia? Is this your view? Were you expecting this? Where is this? Rusty Gear, this is a place called Anapa. This is nearly my hometown. I live just outside Anapa. And it is a Russian coastal seaside resort. So it is on the coast of the Black Sea. I'm currently about 60 miles from Kerch and Crimea, looking across the water at Turkey. If I walk that way about 150 yards, I can wave at anybody in Turkey. They might not see me. And about that way is Crimea. Sergey, hi, nice to see you. You are in Russia currently. Hang on, let me check. Yep, I'm here. That cat is unemployed. Yes, Rusty Gear. Drumas, it's Anapa in Krasnodar region. Yep, it sure is. He's in Russia permanently. Oh, look, and we've got our first idiot. Oh, great. Fantastic. And he's gone. Bye-bye. Yeah, as normal. I've got zero tolerance for morons. They come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, and they're usually thick. Most of them can't spell, so that's always a giveaway. And they've usually got something really constructive to say, as that one had. Another one added to the block list. So that, what we've just walked past, was one resort. So that derelict, I suppose, rundown, whatever you want to call it, abandoned project, that was one resort. That's how big that piece of land is. It's coin a phrase, freaking huge. And what about this one? So this one looks alive and kicking. Now, probably worth noting that we are end of season, so some of these might already be closed, or at the absolute least they're on the wind down, because most of the visitors to this town, well, now mostly Russians. There's another glorious effect of sanctions, where the West thought it would be a good idea to try and stop Russians from travelling. Russians basically went, okay then, so they stay in Russia. Guess where their money gets spent? In Russia. Yep. Like, as I said in my last live stream, I think Spain was particularly hard hit with that nonsense. Apologies if it's a bit windy. I haven't got a dead cat on my microphone. I seem to have lost it somehow. But yeah, as they say, FAFO, isn't it? FAFO. F about and find out. So we're coming up to a resort called Sun Park. Now I'll ask a question. Can anybody here stroke see me? Maybe not me, but maybe my hand. Lovely. YouTube says I'm still live. So here we go, Sun Park, another resort, ultra all-inclusive. Karaoke, Ectopark, it's restaurant. Aqua Park. Yeah, I'm going to give up the rest. Spa and conference, maybe. Anyhow, full facilities of a resort. In case you're wondering, do I speak Russian? No. Am I trying to learn it? Well, I'm on a hiatus at the moment, on the grounds of my inability to learn it. So, Sun Park is wedged in between what looks like two abandoned projects. So we've got the one we walked past. There's a water park behind there, look. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, the water flumes. Then we've got these log cabins that look like they're in mid-construction. And again, is this another one that's run out of money or run out of permission? We've got a huge build going on behind it. It's a real shame, isn't it? These log cabins, no windows. They would have been quite nice. That wants buying. Because it's a good location. It's got a swimming pool. Interesting. Are you going to talk about what happened in London last weekend regarding the cheese? To be honest, Sergey, I don't really know what happened in London because I don't take a lot of notice now. just because what you'll hear about London will come from the media, the Western media. So you won't get the truth. You'll just get their version of the truth, which, you know, I haven't really got a lot of time for, to be fair. Connor Blake. Dobrodin Chris. Connor Blake. Dobrodin. What happened last week in London? Yeah, there you go. And Kuzkin, Papa, Jim. Gim? Gim or Jim? No idea what that is. Only this. Cruto. Cruto. Tam Shunleto Cruto. They are, yeah, sorry. I'm learning, as you can tell. But I do find the language incredibly difficult. Incredibly difficult. You know, I've spent my entire life speaking English with an English alphabet. And Russian is incredibly rich as a language. It makes English look like child's play. It really does. Look at this. Marvellous. Yeah, it's a really challenging language. Really challenging. Yeah, if you want to know, I've recently did a video which is the Russian alphabet, my take on it. If you have a look at my channel, have a look at that video. It's had a lot of views, an awful lot of comments. Believe it or not, that's quite a rare sight. Can't remember the last time I saw one. An ambulance. Don't know why that is. Oh, this is lovely. Really nice. So this is all new to me, so I'm in an exploring phase. But this is obviously another resort. Like I say, all along here are resorts, so I'm just going to keep repeating that, aren't I? This is another resort. This is another hotel. But here is some current construction. Big ass crane. And another one over there. Lots of bike racks. It's something you see a lot of as well. Bicycles. Just parked without locks on. When was the last time, if you're viewing from the west, when was the last time you saw a bicycle outside somewhere all day without a lock? Just posing the question, not making a statement. Okay, there were protests against emigration. Emigration or immigration? I think you're probably right, emigration. Protests against people leaving. Bizarre. They're normally protesting about people coming in. Kuzkin Papa, I'm sorry, I can't read Russian very well at all. Only this, nice home. So this is Anapa on the coast of the Black Sea. The other side of this construction is the seafront, the beach. And I'm just walking along, showing you some of the resorts and the hotels. And also, as I say, the good, the bad and the ugly. So some of these have never made it to completion. This one looks kind of cool. Who's that character? That is a huge piece of land that goes back a long way. wouldn't say it's currently being used, but it might be. Might just be closed now for the season. Probably the season ended a month ago, so would be. Things grow so fast out here, you can't really measure it by the wildlife. So you've got a cycle path and a footpath. But, you know, people do their own thing. Nobody moans. Nobody's shouting at anyone, oh, cycle path or footpath. You know, that's where I come from. That's certainly prevalent. You're on the cycle path. Get off. Got a place to rest your bones. Yeah, one thing I do love about this country, and more so the people, is their lack of interest in rubbish, in nonsense. You know, somebody walking on a cycle path or cyclist on a footpath, nobody's going to say a word because it's just irrelevant. It doesn't mean anything. It's no big deal, as we would say. So, you know, live and let live. There's far more important things to worry about in the world, and certainly trivial stuff like that. It's the same here with road rage. I've never seen any in the 18 months I've been here. Not once. Nothing. Occasional somebody bibbing their horn, but that is it. And again, the reason is they're not worried about somebody cutting you up or put, you know, we're so hammered into us in the West to protect your space and be defensive and, you know, and because we're trying to get everywhere at double breakneck speed, somebody pulls in front of us, we've lost 15 feet of road. Of course, it's the end of the world, isn't it? And in the UK, people have been stabbed to death over that sort of thing. It's utterly beyond comprehension until you know, well, especially when you come somewhere like here where it just doesn't happen. Because if somebody pushes in front of you, they don't really push in because you just let them and everybody else does, and it's perfectly normal. And nobody really cares because it's no issue. Trading ATM not making much money. Yeah, sorry, immigration, and to support Tommy Robson, and I guess you have no idea who he is. No, I do know who Tommy Robson is. He's just been jailed for 18 months, hasn't he? This is, as I understand, the end of a 6-year legal battle where he went to court previously for, I believe, suggesting that a Syrian refugee was guilty of a crime that he actually wasn't. So he went to court. Well, this is what I'm led to believe, that Tommy Robinson was suggesting a Syrian refugee was guilty of a crime which some say he wasn't. And that went to court, and the court said, Mr. Robinson, this particular person hasn't been found guilty of a crime, yet you're purporting he has. You can't do it anymore, and you must not repeat it. Now, that's where he went wrong, because that was a court order. So it went from freedom of speech to breach of a court order. And that's how they get you. And that's what's happened. So a lot of people are going, oh, it's because freedom of speech. And, you know, it's nothing to do with it. It's a 6-year battle. And it's all revolving around Mr. Robinson breaching a court order to not continue to say what he had been saying. He chose to, you know, and apparently in court he was still defiant. And you know what? He might be right, but he might be wrong. I don't know. I don't know the full aspects of the case. But all of that really is irrelevant. At the end of the day, court order was to him not to talk about it anymore in the way that he had been, and he chose to ignore it. So that's why, Sergey, you got 18 months. Hi everyone. Hi Chris. Natalia. Hi. Nice weather in Anapa today. Yeah, I mean, not by our standards, to be honest. There's normally none of these white things in the sky. But yeah, it's lovely. I don't know how many degrees it is today, but I'm hot. I should be here in a t-shirt and shorts, and I'm not. Now, from memory, I think we start to get to a newer part where the resorts are a bit more recent. And we're also coming up to a place that I went in October 2021, which blew my mind, and it was an aquarium. Yes, in the traditional sense, with lots of tanks with lots of different fishes, but also a huge, huge pool with dolphins, seals, and sea lions, and beluga whale. And yeah, it just blew my mind. And you could go and stroke the dolphins at the end of the show if you wanted to. But it was pretty amazing. Dolphins feature heavily in Anapa because they're swimming in the sea, and if you can get out of bed early enough or hang around for the day, they're literally swimming in 2 feet of water around you. There is multiple videos of beachgoers just having dolphins swimming around their legs, in between their legs. It's really common. It's it's an everyday occurrence. So dolphins are definitely synonymous with Anapa. Right. You see that word on the top of this building? Sofia. That's written in English. Because if it was written in Russian, most of you people wouldn't be able to read it, the same as me. But here we go. Here's the dolphin. Dolphinarium. Oceanarium. There's a cafe. And there's where the magic happens. Brilliant show. Really, really amazing. The animals look super well cared for. Super happy. I know a lot of people straight away jump on the, oh, it's cool to keep them in, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that debate. But amazing place. Really is. Definitely worth a visit, 100%. So Sofia is a hotel, but it is also a medical centre. And we were in there a couple of days ago for my wife to have a scan and me to have an MRI scan as well. And it's all good. We're all good. So I was in there last year having an MRI, and I've just gone back again after a couple more scans. My doctor, who I'm under the care of, said, go and get another MRI. I just want to make 100% certain that everything's without change. And that's exactly what it is for me. I had a bit of a scare with the wife. I won't go into that. But it's been a couple of weeks of unpleasantness, which I've, what's the word? Put a brave face on. That's it. You know, carried on as normal. But inside, that was horrible. Yeah, and I'm sure it was for my wife, and she's the same. She puts a brave face on anything. Oh, well, it's not a problem. But potentially it was. But we've had the all clear with that as well. So it's all good. I can now have a beer without worrying, which is great. So can the wife. Right. Okay, let's get rid of you. This isn't a political channel. Unless I make it so. Yeah, I know. So if you're going to come on and make a political statement, I'm not really that interested. There's lots of channels that will put up with it. I'm not one of them. Oh, you can probably hear what I can see. Awesome. Wow. Will I show you? No. Awesome. I do love a good plane. So 2017 seemed to be a bumper year for various people by the looks of it. They've got their stars in the ground. And no, Natalia, I will not be swapping you for St. Petersburg weather, thank you. Moved here for a reason. The Russells, food for thought, large bodies of water, unmeasured level, gas pressure requires a contained space. Oh, no plane, sun, moon, stars move around. Yeah, you said that yesterday, I think, when I was doing the live. If you happen to have a chance and film the dolphins, please do. Yeah, I've tried a couple of times, Natalia. In fact, I've seen them, but they're like a little, well, they're not elusive, they're just elusive for me. So every time I got my camera out, they disappeared. Shari baby, what the F are you doing over there? I live here, sweetheart. That's what I'm doing here. Why? I'll tell you why. I had my eyes opened in 2021. I came to this country believing it was Snow Bears, Gangsters, Vodka, Horse and Cart. It's one of my sayings. I made that myself. Hope you like it. Yeah, so that's what I believed Russia was. And I came here in 2021 and had my world turned upside down. Because it's none of that. And yeah, that was the start of my new life. Me living the dream. Don't know what you want to call it, really. You can use lots of cliche things, but ultimately, I love this country and I love the people in it. Because I treat people how they treat me. I don't necessarily worry what a newspaper tells me. And I certainly don't action that. So if some media or some people want to tell me something about someone, I'll take it on board and go, yeah, okay. But I'll still make my own mind up. So I'm not a sheep. I'm not going to just start hating people because some grubby little Sun newspaper editor wants me to. I've got a brain, work things out for myself. That's what I encourage everybody else to do, and that's the reason for my channel. Give you the option of choice to make up your own mind. That's what my channel's going to do. It's not political, it's not propaganda. I'm not going to shout for and against. I'm certainly not going to comment on the current situation in any depth. But what I will do is show you where I live. I mean, you can work it out. Right, here's another one going. Gone. Dear, dear, dear. Natalia, very likely. I did see. I love planes. I don't care. I'm not interested in debating about current situation, but just planes. Let's just for a minute talk planes. I love them. I love air shows. My town had an air show called Airborne back in the UK, and I went to it every time it was on. And it got worse over the years because obviously the UK ran out of money, so they couldn't afford it. So when I first went, the planes were epic, and then they just gradually got less and less and less, and it just ended up with what I would call one or two good things, the jets. I'm not really interested in propeller stuff. I've seen lots of stunt planes over the years, which are great, but it doesn't do it for me. Fast jets are what impressed me, and that comes from, I used to say it was Farnborough, but I've subsequently found out it was Biggin Hill. In the 90s, I went to a Biggin Hill air show, and what got me hooked on jets was a Russian display team displaying Su-27s. Huge plane, massive plane. Again, did a video of a memorial park not far from where I am now, the other side of here actually. where there's an Su-27. It's the first time I saw one up close and personal when I came here. But I digress. I watched this display, and I watched this Russian pilot display this Su-27 and do things with it that I've never seen done before or since. I subsequently know now that this particular manoeuvre is called a Cobra manoeuvre, which is where they fly along and then just pull the nose straight up and use the power of the engine to slow the plane down. Well, this particular pilot was introduced to the crowd as having 2 more takeoffs than he'd had landings. So if you're not keeping up, that means he ejected twice. So he wasn't scared. And yeah, what he was doing with this plane was just staggering. The whole crowd was completely silent. It was just remarkable. And from then I've been just, I won't say hooked, I'm not a geek, you know, I'm not taking down the numbers, but I just love planes. They just fascinate me. And a few weeks ago, at 2 o'clock in the morning, we were woken to the sound of full afterburners. Thought, what the hell's that? And I went out onto our balcony, and over one of the hills was something which, had I not heard the afterburners, I would have definitely said it was a UFO, because nothing has ever moved like that I've ever seen. And I've seen lots of videos with military aircraft being displayed, but I have never, ever, ever seen anything move like this thing. And again, it was running full afterburners while it was doing it. Remarkable, absolutely staggering. I stood on the balcony. It was doing this, whatever it was doing, for 2 or 3 minutes, and I stood out on the balcony with my mouth open, staring at it, just thinking, what on earth? And the way that it was maneuvering in the sky, I've never seen a plane capable of doing it, and it was way, way, way too fast and agile to be a helicopter. And like I say, you could hear the afterburners and see them. So, and it was doing all of this while it was on full afterburner, which apparently is not normally possible. So I don't know what it was. I'm going to guess at an Su-57, but that's a guess. But it was staggering. Anyhow, Sand Villa, another one under construction, or dereliction, I'm not sure which. I assume construction because there's a tractor parked outside, but doesn't necessarily mean a lot. What about this place? Revesnik. Revesnik? Maybe. But yeah, as you can see, block paved walkway goes on for mile upon mile. I think it actually goes to the next town, which is several miles. But this is what we call the resort stroke hotel main road. So chances are, if you're looking to book a resort, an all-inclusive resort in Anapa, it might be along here. Let me catch up. In Russia, one can actually live, not exist. Absolutely nailed that, Natalia, 100%. In the US, it's all about working for barely existing and paying debts. You took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I was doing. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was just running myself into the ground. My wife saved me. And she's the most remarkable woman I've ever met in my life. Amazing. Strength of a lion. But the most wonderful soul, the most caring person I've ever met. And gave me the opportunity to live. Oh, look at this. Kids' playground area. The multicoloured pussycat. Yeah, and that's what I was doing in the West. I was just stressed, working for a company that, typical Western company, you know, you're just a number, they don't care about you. They tell you that they do, but the reality is they don't at all. They just tell you they do so that they can get the best out of you for their benefit. And that's what I was doing, you know, very successfully for them. Incredibly so, in fact. Very proud of what I achieved working for BMW. But yeah, it's a former life that my wife saved me from, because I'd have been dead by now had it not been for her. I would have died of stress. I had a heart attack, I'm certain of it. I was massively overweight. Since coming here, I've lost 17 kilos. So yeah, hugely overweight, drinking every night. And that's the norm in the corporate world. It's just an environment where everybody drinks. And it's, you know, go out for a business meeting and it's get drunk. Go out at the end of the year to talk about the accounts, get drunk. You know, it's that kind of environment. And she saved me from that by literally saying, I don't care where we live, I'll live in a tent as long as you're alive. So, long story short, we made the decision for me to pack up work. So, you know, the stereotypical Englishman finds a Russian wife, she's only interested in money, is, I can absolutely vouch for it and say that it's a load of rubbish, a load of bollocks. My wife has never been interested in money, and certainly not with me. Else she wouldn't have told me to quit my job. So here we go. Anyhow, little insight into me, why I'm in Russia. Because I fell in love with this country, that's why. And I mean, have you seen anything that would suggest that you wouldn't love it here? I don't know. Maybe only your misconceptions. I don't know. But this is the Alien Family Resort and Spa. Obviously all fenced off because, you know, people pay to go to these resorts, so can't just have people wandering in and using the facilities as they see fit. But a lot of these places have got a lot of cool stuff. Huge swimming pools. This has got a water park. You can see a bit of it there. Lots of facilities at these resorts, and just how it should be. You know, a lovely long road straight into town, regular bus services, and by regular I mean probably every 10 minutes. In peak, in fact, less than that in the holiday season. And if you don't want to get on a bus, taxis is always one no more than 30 seconds away, and they're pennies. Last time we got in a taxi, we went across town, it cost about 21 pence, the equivalent thereof. So there you go, buses. So great public service, public transport, very easy to get around. And there's the beach. Let me zoom in. There's the beach. Where that man is at the end there. He's on the sand. So maybe we'll walk down there in a while. Not sure. But yeah, sorry, Natalia, you're absolutely right. You know, I now live. I now have a life, which I didn't have before. Sorry, I was playing with my microphone then. We used to look at air shows directly from the window before. Yeah, Susan Meigs fly along the Neva River so I can see them from where we live. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've seen a few on the coast when we're on the on the walkway along Anapa, and they come along and you're at eye level to them. And they, you know, sometimes they fly along there in the evening and waggle their wings at the people. And you're at eye level and you're just looking straight at the pilot. It's absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Where all the people looks like Chernobyl. Have you been to Chernobyl? Or is that just a comment, typical Western comment, really? Sorry, I don't want to be disrespectful. Maybe you're being very genuine. I tend to find Westerners do make a lot of comments like that. Oh, it's a bit like motorbike ownership. I used to have a lot of Ducatis, and invariably, whenever I went out, I'd have somebody come up and go, "Whoa, lovely bike, mate." Oh, thanks. I'd never own one though. Oh, right. Yeah, they're always breaking down. But you've never owned one? No. Okay. It's that kind of nonsense, isn't it? We pass comment on stuff we don't know. Not suggesting that's you. Might be. But it's end of season, in answer to your question. This is a seaside town. It's a resort town. It's the 30th of October. It's a bit warmer today, I think. Probably about 18, 19 degrees. Sea is 19 degrees at the moment, water temperature. But this is the holiday resort area. These are spa resorts and hotels along this road. And obviously being end of season, they're empty. So now people will just walk along here to get a bit of exercise. I will just perch my bum a little bit. I may turn around and walk back on the other side of the road, because I can keep walking forever. Summer camp for children. Yeah, it could well be. Yeah, that'll be another reason why it's empty. Went to the camp near this one in 1998. Wow. Alex, good afternoon, sir. SU-34, fly here every day. Test flights, new plane. Oh, don't. You make me so jealous. SU-57, those are absolute. Well, I can't think that what I was watching was anything less than that. I'm not saying it was that, but the way it was moving in the sky, and I've seen SU-34s, SU-27s, the MiGs. I've seen the Tornadoes. I've seen the Typhoons. I've seen all the thrust vectoring stuff. The American planes. I've seen them manoeuvring. This wasn't like that. This was doing something else. Just like I say, I just stood there with my mouth open and jaw on the floor. Could not comprehend the way this thing was moving. Tim, don't know. You're speaking in code, mate. Sorry. No problem. Not a problem. But it's just, it's the stereotypical sort of nonsense that Russians have to listen to now and put up with, and it's unjustified because most people comment on Russia that have never been. The same with Ukraine. People comment about those two countries at the moment, and 99% of them have never been in either or have any connection to it, other than the media has told them to change the flag in their profile picture on their social media, maybe hang it outside the front door and wave it a bit. Of course, that's all stopped, isn't it? Yeah. Be on to the next one now. What's the next one? Oh, you'll all be out the front banging saucepans shouting, "We hate China." That'll be your next project in the West, as Ukraine is slowly dropped. Another epic success from the military-industrial complex, all in the name of democracy. Right, okay. I think democracy's killed more people than anything else. And if that's what democracy looks like, I don't want it. But it isn't. And this isn't a dictatorship or a totalitarian state, like you're told. I've never felt as free or as safe as I do here in Russia, ever, anywhere that I've been in any country, and I've been to a lot of countries. Yeah, the freedom I enjoy here. I've been stopped by the police twice. Once just a routine stop and check. You know, have you got your papers? Yep, here they are. No problem. Thank you, sir. Goodbye. And second time, yeah, kind of my fault, I suppose. Turns out, and this will shock you, it turns out if you drive on the wrong side of the road in front of a policeman, and he's 20 feet away watching you do it, he's not that happy with it. That said, he was lovely, really polite, and made his point in a very, very polite way. Just sort of had a look at my details, asked me what I thought I was doing. I apologised profusely, told him that I was just going to the bin, and I was just driving up the side of the road but on the wrong side, and he questioned why I thought that was a good idea, which is fair enough. Giving it some thought, it's probably not a good idea, is it? And then he held my licence and says, "Do you like your licence?" I said, "Yeah, quite attached to it." And he said, "Are you sure? I'm happy to keep it from you if you want." And I was like, no, I quite like it. And he laughed, and suggested that I'd probably not be so silly in future, which I thought was a good idea. So I said, "Yeah, no problem. I won't be doing that again." He gave it back to me. So, yeah, I mean, guess I was lucky. No, it's just not what you're told it is in the West. What we're told it is in the West. And that's the reason, I think, for my channel, my initial anger when I came here at being lied to all my life, really, about what Russia is like and what the people are like. And I found it to be completely the opposite. And that really unsettled me. It made me very confused, very disorientated, and then ultimately quite angry. You know, just to be spoon-fed on absolute load of bullshit your entire life, it's really quite a thing. So, yeah, I guess that's the reason for my channel. At my ripe old age, did I ever think I would be a YouTuber? God, no. Not at all. Let's cross the road. Don't know why. Other than I'm getting old and I'm going to end up in the next town if I keep walking another 10 miles. Yeah, never thought I would be a YouTuber at all. And I hate that term, really, but what else do you call us? People that put content on YouTube. Content creators. YouTubers. Lazy bastards. Probably all of that. But not something I ever thought of doing, but I just wanted to show people what I see. You know, have a look at my channel if you haven't already. Take a look. Have a look at some of the videos of our house build. We built a house here in Russia. A lovely swimming pool, and just completing the sauna, so there'll be a video of that soon. A couple of bits to finish. We're enjoying the sauna now. Although we were in the swimming pool a couple of nights ago, straight after a sauna, I would act. But that was nippy. Right, we might struggle a little bit with wind noise from time to time now, so I'm walking back into the wind, so it's just a little bit open here. Let's get behind these trees, it should be better. Lots of all sorts stores, dried fish, fruit, beach stuff, sunflower seeds, all sorts. Now we're walking back towards Anapa. I think I've walked a fair way, so it might take a while. Nice place, yes. Sorry, Tim, it is. It is wonderful here. Really wonderful. Yes, Natalia, indeed. Tim, Resident Evil. Computer game, innit? Not something I play, mate, I'm afraid. Morning, no zombies. Where is bitch? What are you doing where your Spanish is good? Okay. I'll tell you what else I'm good at. Deleting idiots. Look at that. As if by magic, he was gone. I've been to questionable spelling Anapa a few times. Jimet and Fitzyev. Oh, cool. I shouldn't comment on Russian spelling in English because I can't spell in bloody Russian. So, fair play to you. Nice weather. What's the temperature? Is it autumn? Well, it's 30th of October. This is live wherever you're watching from. I'm wandering along a Russian seaside resort, seaside town, close to the Black Sea. Might go along to the beach. It might be a bit windy. Don't know. Votes for the beach. Who wants to see the beach? Another resort. It's a lovely place to come for a walk. Like I say, this walkway, it's on both sides of the road, cycle paths on both sides of the road, and it goes from Anapa to the next town. I can't remember what it is because I've never been that far. Yeah, Tim got fired. Tim got the bullet. Poor old Tim. Don't get involved in bun fights with people because I enjoy my life. And as you can see, I'm out enjoying the weather, surroundings, not sat in my mum's bedroom, bashing away at the keyboard. Too many keyboard ninjas in this world. 99% of which would wilt like a daisy on a hot day. So, as I said, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hello, Bazam. Bazam is sham. You need another L in hello. Otherwise, it sort of says hello. Not criticising at all. Love from Pakistan. Thank you very much, sir. H. So, how are you, sir? I'm very well, thank you. Incredibly so. Part of the reason, well, no, it's not. It's a consequence of coming to Russia that I'm very well. So, I had medical issues in the UK. Had surgery on my neck in 2012, and was getting to a point where some issues were causing difficulty with breathing and sleeping and stuff like that in my neck. So I was under medical care in the UK. Let's give you a little medical story. And I was in and out of hospital having various scans and discussions and this, that, and the other for about 2 years with the NHS. Waiting months for a scan, then waiting months for a result, and then another scan, etc., etc. You know, if you live in the UK, you know the score. Completely normal. And we got to the point where I was scheduled for surgery. And the question really, I was waiting for a final scan to decide whether they were going to perform 2 surgeries or one and do, 2 operations in one, because it would have meant effectively slit in my throat. It would have been ear to ear, peeling my head back kind of thing. And they weren't totally sure whether they wanted to do that as one surgery, because it would have been extremely invasive and quite challenging, from what I understand. Talked about me never speaking again was one of the options for this, one of the side effects. I wasn't that keen on, to be fair. Quite like talking. So that was where I was. That was my life in the UK. Didn't know any different. And then we moved to Russia. And first thing that we did when we got here, my wife took me to just a local doctor's. And he had a look at me, examined my neck, and was just astounded, just literally horrified. I can't put it any other way. And this is just, I live in a little village. This is just a local doctor. It's not a, you're not talking about Harley Street here, or I won't go there, to be honest, now I know. But he was just mortified at the size of lumps that were in my neck, and that the options that I had, or option that I had in the UK, was only surgery. That was all that was left to me. Just staggered, and he just says, look, we don't see this in Russia. This, what's happening to you, what's gone wrong, which is thyroid and parathyroid problems. He says, we don't have this because we treat it. So what treatment are you on? I said, well, none. They haven't got any treatment for it. Which he just couldn't believe. And he said, look, I've never seen anybody with, parathyroid this big. I'm going to treat it. I'm going to give you some medication for it. I don't know if it's going to be successful, because I've never treated anybody with this big a problem. But let's try and see. And that was 18 months ago. Had I been in the UK, I'd have been sliced open by now. But here I am. Had an MRI scan day before yesterday, and we're all good. Don't have any breathing issues. Doesn't hurt when I swallow like it used to. Yeah, just for popping a couple of pills. So that's Russia for you. It's a good example of Russia. The healthcare is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Even with the wife, 3 weeks ago, we had some news that wasn't pleasant, and yesterday we had news that saying it's all clear. 3 weeks from start to finish. Few scans, few meetings, and done. All good. I know there are stories in the West, about UK healthcare, and we're programmed in the UK to believe that we are so lucky to have the NHS. That's what we're told, isn't it? Do you remember all the out on the doorstep banging your saucepan? How lucky we are. And before anybody says anything, this is absolutely not directed at the staff of the NHS. They are pissing in the wind. They're completely up against it. They do not have the resources. And the vast majority of the staff, are very loving and caring people. You'd have to be to do that job on the pay that they get. But nevertheless, the rubbish that we're told that the NHS is a wonderful institution and we're so lucky. Again, if you only hear one side of the story, that's what you believe. You're so lucky to have been born in England, and so lucky here. 50% tax and a health system that's failing, badly failing, on the verge of collapse. But we're so lucky. You don't notice any different until you come somewhere like here. So Russia is a good example. And I've just had my eyes opened, I suppose, 3 years ago. And now, I'm fit and healthy. Maybe I wouldn't have been here. So I've got to thank my wife and Russia for that. And I do. I'm very grateful. Greetings from Sochi. Alexander Cott, Alexander the cat. Greetings from Sochi. Greetings, sir. My name is Ahmed. Ahmed? Yes, Ahmed. Hi, Ahmed. I hope you have the chance to visit Indonesia someday. Hope you're doing okay. Thank you. Hello. Aries, the goddess of Manwas. Manwas. Hello. Visit Indonesia. Haven't really thought about it, if I'm honest. Oh, look at the sand dunes up there. Look. Haven't really thought about visiting Indonesia. I'd like to go to Singapore. That looks really interesting to me. But now I'm here in Russia, and I've seen only on videos and documentaries and stuff places in Russia. I don't think I'd ever need to leave, because there's every climate here, 11 time zones, every sort of nature you can think of. So again, this is a big failure of the West when they thought that sanctioning Russia was a good idea. They thought that the economy would crumble, but they actually made the economy grow with their actions, because Russians didn't leave the country anymore. So the money that they were spending overseas now gets spent within the country. Consequently, property prices, property boom, there's construction everywhere. Holiday resort towns like this benefit from it massively. There's going to be another big town built near here soon. I think it has been signed off by the State Duma. I'm sure construction will start at some point in the near future. But several people have said that it will rival Dubai. Now, yeah, talk is cheap, isn't it? So let's wait and see. But I wouldn't be surprised. So, obviously a building site. I don't know whether under construction or whether construction has stopped and it's now sitting and decaying. It looks a bit more like construction stopped on this place a while ago, which is a shame, because there's a lot of glass in there that would have cost a few quid. But again, as I said earlier, various reasons for things like that here in Russia. Anybody got any questions while I'm wandering around? Do you want me to go to the beach? Do you want me to go and walk on the sand? Or are you quite happy wandering along here? But thanks for joining me anyway. Just as I said at the beginning of this live, I just wanted to pick up from where I left off yesterday when my battery went flat, which was rather embarrassing. It was a great live as well, even if I do say so myself. So, yeah, just wanted to jump back on. That's interesting. And go for a wander. More construction. Majestic by Alien. We've got a couple of shops there. We've got the usual apteka, which is pharmacy or chemist. They're everywhere. Everywhere. I think our village has probably got 5 or 6 of them. Magnet, which is like a little mini supermarket like your Tesco Express or your little Sainsbury's. Again, they're everywhere, open 24 hours. That's for sale. Something's for sale. I don't know if it's that. Looked like it was going to be good at some point, but an abandoned project for whatever reason. No idea why. As I said earlier, there are lots of reasons why construction halts in Russia. And that one is underway. I think that's Bora Bora. So it's like a beach club kind of thing. So restaurant and booze and swimming pools and just lounge areas. And it's just where I think adults can go and chill, really. It's not really for kids. I think it's just for adults to go and chill, have a few beers, bit of a browder, so a few bottles of champers. It's cheap here and very nice. And yeah, just sort of take the weight off away from the kiddies. So I'm guessing that construction is probably part of this. And this is common at the end of the season, end of the holiday season. Most things get refurbished, rebuilt, altered, expanded. Very, very common in the off season of a building project. Yeah, construction everywhere here. New roads being built, new apartment blocks, commercial properties. Literally everywhere. This is all from an economy that apparently is on the verge of collapse, if you were to believe certain media reports. Can't say I've seen that, to be fair. Every shop I ever go in seems to be full of everything. So I think they might be telling porky pies. The beach would be nice. Hello, nice to see you in Russia. Thank you. It definitely is nice to see me in Russia. Now I can show you what I mean about when I showed you that hotel earlier and said that it's a medical centre as well. Showed you the name of it. Can you remember? It was Sophia, written in English. Well, here it's written in Russian. And that says Sophia. So if you haven't looked at the Russian language, that will give you an insight if you're an English speaker. So we read that as C-O, some weird thing, backwards N, backwards R. That's how an English person reads that. That is obviously S-O-F-I. Well, it's not technically R or A, it's Ya. So backwards R is Ya. So again, have a look at my channel, have a look at the alphabet video that I did. I'll talk you through the alphabet very badly, admittedly. It's a bit of fun. A lot of people have enjoyed it. Lots and lots of 800 odd comments on it or something crazy. Really useful information on it as well. It turned into a really helpful video for a lot of people, myself included. And certainly threw up some interesting things, particular symbol over here, which we would call a W, but it isn't because they don't have a W in the Russian alphabet. But it looks like a W-ish, and it's sh. And so shashlik, for example, looks like W-A-W and then L-I-K, lick. But it isn't, it's sh. Shashlik. Look at that. Awesome. And Russians, some Russians tried to explain to me that it was the difference between ship and sheep, for example, so that I could get the pronunciation correct, because there is a hard and soft version. But as an English speaker, we don't comprehend hard and soft in language because we don't have softening sounds or hardening sounds. So SH is SH regardless. So ship and sheep sound the same at the beginning anyway. It's only the following letters that change the word, if that makes sense. Anyhow, I'm waffling. Have a look at my alphabet video. It's a great video, even if I do say so myself. Very popular. And I will be doing the second and final part soon. And I caught up with all my other projects. I'm going to a place called Suko soon, which is sort of the next village stroke town across. Beautiful place. Again, holiday destination, very popular with the tourists. Lots of little resorts there. There's a summer camp for the kids. Our daughter went there. And there's a lovely area there. They've got like a medieval castle and they do medieval jousting nights and stuff like that. And a lovely lady who I was cut off last time in the live stream, actually. Oksana, hello again. A lovely lady called Oksana and her husband invited us over at their pleasure. And her husband was actually one of the stars of the show. And it was awesome. Absolutely fantastic evening. And so much so that it was the one thing that I didn't film. Normally I film most things, but I didn't because I just wanted to enjoy it and not be staring at the back of a camera. And it was brilliant. Really was. People were lovely. We met the owner. Nice food, lots of little stalls. You could have a go at archery or axe throwing, knife throwing, that sort of thing. And then watch the show in the evening. It was fantastic. It really was. Absolutely awesome. And they very kindly invited me back because it was the last show of the season. So I didn't get a chance to actually go there again and film it. But they very kindly invited me back next year where there'll be a different theme. And hopefully I will go to the first show. And I will film that. And it'll be probably a part 1, 2 and 3. Because if you are a regular viewer of my channel, you know I don't do editing. 1, I'm too thick. And 2, I don't really have the time. I'm too busy enjoying my life. So all my videos are start, stop. So there's no trickery, no trick of the light. What you see is what you get. Personally, I prefer that. A lot of people have commented and said that they do as well, because they know it's not edited. It's just some old fool wandering around with a camera. At least it's real and honest. So, massive construction here. Huge resort, hotel being built. And down to the sea. Shall we go down to the sea? I was in Anapa in my childhood. Awesome. Russian reading lessons on the go. Yes. Tatiana, I like your streams. They're whole. Thank you, sweetheart. That's really kind. Do your English relatives follow your streams? I haven't really got many English relatives, to be fair. I have my children, but they're adults. They've got their own lives, and they're busy. Both got partners, working, etc., etc. So I know they watch some of the stuff. I don't think they watch it all, but I also send them stuff privately as well. So, and we FaceTime fairly regularly, which is lovely, and certainly made coming to Russia a lot easier. Had it not been for modern technology and the ability to do what I'm doing now. Look at this. Where are you in the world? And I'm wandering along holding a mobile phone in Russia. So that's modern technology, and that connects us all, doesn't it? Puts us all together. And it gave me the ability to to make my life a bit easier coming to Russia and leaving my children, which was without doubt the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Love my children desperately. But it was a decision that we talked about, and it was the right decision for all of us, to be fair. They needed to not have dad just around the corner on the end of a telephone as a safety net for them. They needed to stand on their own 2 feet. And my wife and our daughter, we needed to get out of the UK for the health benefits. I mean, my wife, you know, in the UK where it's cold and damp, it's not good. And it's not good for me now, you know, at my age. It's not great. It gets in your bones, and in the winter you just seize up, whereas out here, oh, it's lovely. We're in the sauna every night, sometimes during the day as well. It's going to get a bit windy now, so you might have to put up with a bit of wind just so I can show you the beach, or a bit of the beach. But yes, that is a huge, right on the beach block under construction. What a massive place. Look at that. Look at that. Brilliant. There's a good example of Russian health and safety, which I love, to be honest. Some people will be screaming, going, oh my God, oh my God. There guys up there. Russians operate on the Darwin theory. Most workmen walk around in flip-flops. No, I'm not joking. It's quite unsettling when you come from the West, where you've always lived. You're programmed to believe that everybody should be wrapped up in cotton wool and the government's looking out for us. And then you come here and find that builders are walking around with flip-flops on and working up on high-rises like that. Oh, nice, look at that. On 2 trestles cobbled together with some rickety old wood and a few nails. And he stood on that. Go on, son. That's what you get here. Yep. Common sense approach. If you're an idiot, if you're wearing flip-flops and you drop something heavy on your foot, whose fault's that? Yeah, exactly. The Russians have the same approach. And also, it's a valuable lesson. You won't do it again, will you? But if you're wearing flip-flops, you're going to be extra careful, aren't you? You're holding a concrete block and you think, I'm not sure I've got a good hold of this. You're going to put it down, aren't you? Rather than drop it on your poor tootsies. Hello? Oh, he's not talking to me. Lucky. Otherwise I'd have to pull out my one and only Russian phrase. Извините, пожалуйста. Я английский. Я не говорю по-русски. So, sorry about the wind. I haven't got a dead cat from the microphone, but can you say you wouldn't want to live here? Maybe you can, I don't know. Anyway, you see this jetty thing here coming out in the distance? That's the favourite haunt for the dolphins. They love swimming around that and swimming around the people. So, some of the places we make a beeline for when we want to see the dolphins. Crystal clear. Crystal clear. It's lovely. About 19 degrees. And we've got a load of jellyfish blown on shore. Oh, crabby look. He's deceased. So a load of jellies drying out in the sun. Let's kick them back in the water, shall we? See what happens. Nothing. They just get blown on shore again. Sorry, you lot. Should have swum harder. Get out there. Oh, that one's actually having a go. Oh, fair enough. He's actually... Oh, he's got a mate trying to swim for it as well. He's making good progress, that one. Fair play to him. Let's kick another one in. In you go. Go on. Jellyfish kicking day. Yes, like I say, apologies for the wind. I'm going to wander down the beach now, so you'll just have to put up with it. Right. Oh yeah, look, there we go. Just catching up. Shirt pronounced very quickly, inseparably. Honestly, if Russians, I need you to understand, the way you learn English is very grammatically based, because that's how you learn Russian. Trust me, there's nobody intelligent enough in England to speak English correctly. So, we're very lazy, English people are. I'm sorry, I'm an Englishman, so I can speak. We're lazy. And we're lazy with most things, especially language. We like to try and find shortcuts for everything. Some say that that's clever. You know, work smart, not hard. But that's just a polite way of saying lazy. So when we speak, we don't enunciate correctly. We speak quick like that, so we cut half the words off. Yeah. So Russians are very precise with their language, and it's an amazing language. Very, very, very difficult. Very difficult. All right, just looking at the sand while I catch up. You are lucky. Winter in Anapa ends very quickly. It sure does. Why do you think I'm here, Tatiana? As for the W sound, the shush sound, don't forget about its softened version. Yeah, exactly. Sergey, as I said, it doesn't mean anything in English. The beach! Glad you said beach. Nice, it is. It is nice. English, coincides with Russian, yeah, ish. Like I say, guys, watch my alphabet video. If nothing, it'll give you a good laugh. It doesn't. It's in the middle between whatever. I do speak English, only there's nobody to speak to. Oh, you can talk to me. Join my Telegram group if you haven't already. Look at all the seashells, look. So we're very lucky here. Our beach here is sand. But up that way, there's a town called Temruk, and that's on the coast of the Azov Sea. And it's the Black Sea and the Azov Sea at one point are separated by a very, very thin peninsula. And we were there in the Azov Sea a few weeks ago on the beach, sunning ourselves for the day. And the Azov Sea, where we go, the entire beach is made up of these and these shells. And when I say the entire beach, I mean the entire beach. There is no sand at all. It is just, well, inches and inches, feet, meters deep of shells. It's amazing. Hundreds of millions of shells there. So again, I've done a video from there. Look, you see what I mean? Staggering. But that's on the shoreline. That's what's washed in from storms, etc. So obviously teeming with life. Some people argue it's not the case. They're mainly based in the west. The Black Sea is named the Black Sea because it's death. Many theories as to why the Black Sea is named the Black Sea. One is because it looks black at certain times of the year. but also because it's known to be, or has been known to be a treacherous water. It's a storm, it's quite a hard-hitting one. And then there are things like the Turks named it the Black Sea because you had the Red Sea and the Yellow Sea, blah blah blah, and it was about north, south, east, and west. So north of them was black, so Black Sea. Lots of reasons why the Black Sea got its name. You'll have to pick which one you believe. Personally, I don't really mind. I don't really care. I'm just happy to be on it. Look at that jelly, look. Go on, swim, you bugger. Exactly why we have dolphins here. Because that, well, if Mr. Dolphin was swimming along and saw that, he'd be on it like a fat kid on cake. Jelly ball, new beach game. Yeah, I've just invented it. I'm going to patent that. Rich Savage, hello, hi. If you kick some jellyfish in southern countries, you might kick the bucket. Yeah, I mean, some of them are good. Americans as well. Sorry, Rich. I'm sure that's a valid comment, but I've forgotten what it's pertaining to. Luckily, these ones are not dangerous. Correct, they just sting a bit. It's a bit like getting stung with a stinging nettle, if you know what that is. How do I know? Found out last year, didn't I? Yeah. I nearly died. I nearly died of death. So close to death. I got stung 3 times. I survived. It was my ninja training that saved me. Cried about it for days. Still traumatic event. Sorry, that's my English sarcasm. Oh, please don't tell me any more about the language. For Russians, English tenses, no idea what a tense is, present some difficulty, but there's no genders, only 2 cases, an adjective. Yeah, I don't know what an adjective is. Yeah. See what I mean? Nouns, pronouns, not what pronouns are. They're them stupid things, aren't they? Everybody changes in their bio or on their signature of their email. My pronouns are dumb and stupid. I like your explanation, it's epic. Thank you, Sergey. Yes, oh, you like my je explanation. Yeah, that's just how I learn. That's just the way my brain works. So if anybody not seen the video, you're wondering what the hell Sergey's talking about, if you look at that symbol that he's written, that's a letter. Well, it's not, it's a sound, but it's in the Russian alphabet, and it's effectively it's ZH to us English speakers, so it sounds like je. Now I read that, and the way I remember it is, I'll get this, it's a cat's arsehole. A cat's arse, or arse, is the word joppa, which begins j on that, joppa. So that's how I remember it. I see that, I think of a cat's arsehole, think of arse, joppa, it's j. Yep. I think I'm the one that needs to be in a sanitarium. So yeah, so that's one symbol in the Russian alphabet. I have got others. F is a good one. Again, I have my own way of remembering that. Like I say, check out the video. Is microphone going crazy? Right, do you know what? It probably is. So let me... Hopefully you can still hear me now. I've unplugged my external mic, albeit with a lot of wind. Yeah, please let me know about the microphone, and I'll try and get out of the wind in a minute. Sounds like you're in a cave with lions, yeah. The wind is blowing into your mic. Yeah, I can't help it because I'm walking this way. If I walk that way, I'll get away from it. I do want to show you the beach, so put up with the wind noise just for a minute while I pan round there, and then I'm going to try and get off of the beach and away out of the wind. The lions are dead in the cave now. Yeah, bullet time, wasn't it? What's the temperature there at the moment? I would say it's about 17, 18 degrees air temperature. The sea is 19 degrees, so it's warmer in the sea than it is out of the sea. Although, obviously, body heat is lost a lot quicker in water than it is in air. Yada yada yada. Good morning from Kansas City, Missouri. Wow, dashing Womble, love that. What beach are you on? I am on the beach of Anapa, which is on the coast of the Black Sea. Crimea is just over there, about 60 miles. Turkey over here. And the town of Anapa, A-N-A-P-A. Have a look on Google Maps. A-N-A-P-A. Maybe I can get out of the wind down this way. So it's not that windy, but a microphone makes it sound terrible. But if you look at the trees, they're a bit blowy, but nothing too drastic. Not sure I can get down there. But we'll bear with. We'll get out of this wind soon. Definitely getting a workout today. They are bad, more that plastic on the planet. I have not got a clue what you mean. I remembered English J as a fishing rod. Ah, okay. See, we've all got our own way of remembering things. Mine's just a little strange. Go Chiefs. Woo woo! If you could see my face now, it would be one of confusion. Kansas City Chiefs, is it? I don't know. Very nice, mate. Dashing Womble, you're... Yeah, understatement of the year. Award goes to you, sir. So, do you work in Russia then? No, geezer. I don't. I'm retired, don't I? Packed it all in, son. Came on my holidays. No, I don't work in Russia. My visa wouldn't allow me to work in Russia. So, if you're thinking of coming to Russia, there are many types of visa. Make sure you get the right one. Do not think that you're going to get a work visa. You're going to apply for a work visa and come to Russia and work, because it doesn't work like that. You get a work visa by having a job first. So you'll get a job, probably over the internet, and a company that employs you will then get you a work visa. But that work visa will tie you not only to that company, but to that region that the company is in. So it's not something you can go to the visa centre and apply for yourself. So that's something you need to note. So a lot of people seem to think that you're just going to apply for a work visa and come to Russia. Well, as I said, it doesn't work like that. Russia has a very strict immigration policy, which will catch a lot of Westerners out because we haven't. So you need to do your homework regarding visas. And if you've got any questions about visas or life in Russia, cost of living, that kind of thing, please join my Telegram channel, The Plastic Russian, on Telegram. 2 channels. There's the main channel and then there's the discussion group or the chat. The people I've got in my chat, I'm so fortunate, so lucky to have, because they are a wonderful bunch of people. So helpful. You won't get shot down in flames like you do on a lot of groups. Because we just don't stand for that kind of nonsense. But what you will get is useful information friendly advice and a bit of fun from good people. So please join my Telegram group if you've got any queries. Sorry, I'm a bit behind with the chat, aren't I? So do you work in Russia? No. How far are you from Sochi? So, Sochi, well, we've got our peninsula sticking out, but the other side of that peninsula, Sochi is about 300 kilometres. High flip-flop waves. That's one of the things that's amazing about this beach for families. I'm sure some Westerns go, oh, I'll never take my family to Russia. Well, your life is worse for it. But this beach is amazing for families because the kids, you can walk out 50 metres and only be up to your knees. It's so shallow, there's no big drop-offs or anything, so it's lovely for children, really good. A lot of these sort of places are for the resorts, private entrances. So I can't just sort of wander off anywhere, I've got to find the public ones. Lots of boats out today, a bit of yachting going on. Spot of yachting, darling. Is this video live? Is it still so mild down there in Russia? Hang on a minute. I can confirm I am alive. And yes, it is still so mild down here. Flip-flops needed. Hi. Nice one. You sound too young to be retired. Oh, bless you. Bless you indeed. Buy you a pint if you come over here. Although technically I can't buy a pint here. You can have half a litre. Although that's not really the Russian way. We order in multiples here. Okay everyone, have a great day. Nice to see you, thanks and goodbye. Always like Russia, maybe one day. Maybe, why not? I'm living a life I could only have dreamed of. You've got to remember, Western money goes a long way out here. So, if you're fortunate enough in the West to have a few quid, or you've paid off your house, you can have a very nice life in Russia. And to be fair, a lot of Russians have a very nice life. Most Russians. There are some, obviously, that are on the poverty line, I would say. But there's a difference in poverty. Because even out here, people can eat, have a roof over their head, pay their electricity bills. Oh, speaking of which, we just got our electricity bill in. Youch. Had to sit down for this one. But it's to be expected because it's a month of electricity. I'm going to go down there, I think. Yeah, that derelict load there. And this nice new lot over here. Yes, we've had a month of electricity. Half of that, the first month, was free air conditioning units. And the second half has been the sauna and of course the swimming pool, which is running constantly. So fairly electric heavy, shall we say. So we got the bill in yesterday, I think, and the wife said she's paid it. Luckily I was sat down when she told me. Hope you're sitting down too. You ready? Month of electricity here. Take a deep breath. 2,700 rubles. Ooh. Now, if you need to do the conversion, it's about £24. UK pounds, that is. And about $27 US. Yeah, not a day. That was for the month. And like I say, if you go and look at my house, go to my channel, look at our house build, you can see our house, you can see the pool. We've got a sauna that's got a 12 kilowatt heater in it. We've got 3 air conditioning units and obviously the pool running all the time. So fairly heavy on the electric, £24. Why wouldn't you want to live in Russia? And the gas bill, oh, don't get me started on that. I think last month it was about 73 pence. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Dashing Womble. I'm originally from Wimbledon. Ah, hence the Womble. Love that. And maybe the clue, yes. Dashing Womble. So, Uncle Bulgaria, Madame Cholet, Orinoco. Was one called Ted? I can't remember. Going back to my childhood there. Russians are going to think I've lost the plot, so they've probably got no idea what a Womble is. But Dashing Womble, I got you, man. What do you do in your free time aside from making streams? So my life really revolves around waking up at some point, asking the wife what day it is, then asking the wife, do we need to do anything? Do we need to go anywhere? Then ask the wife, is there any workmen coming round? Then ask the wife what's for breakfast. Then we do something which through the summer tends to involve the swimming pool a lot, but now is involved in the sauna a lot. But our house is still a construction site to a degree. We started building it in October 21 and we're still building it. Still building bits, still making alterations. And yeah, the sauna and the outdoor shower room is pretty much complete now. A couple of little things to do. Oh, I'm gonna have a sit down, guys, I'm afraid, because my old bones. Yes, I do an awful lot of absolutely nothing. Do a bit of YouTube videoing, do a lot of eating when I can, try to avoid walking. So today's little jolly, I'm going to try and stretch this out for about a month. Keep telling the wife that my hips hurt, although she'll probably be watching the stream and I'll be getting it in here when I get home. Sorry honey, I will go walking again. But yeah, no, I'm a man of leisure. I've got to say, I have a wonderful life. You know, we come to the beach sometimes, we go for a walk, we go and visit some places. A lot of it is driven by YouTube. You know, we'll go out driving, I'll go, oh, I can film this, and I'll film something. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Making streams. I love doing a live stream, I really do. Really enjoy it. The good, the bad and the ugly, you know, bring it on. I don't mind. There's always people that are going to be negative because they haven't got a brain, they're not capable of critical thought, they believe what they're told in Western media. Really, this day and age, people should understand that that's rubbish. But there we go. Holty, just stumbled upon this. You are in Russia. I am indeed, Holty. I am indeed. Coast of the Black Sea, town called Anapa. And that is A-N-A-P-A. So check it out on Google Maps. You'll see where I am. Ah, the pinching of the cheeks cracked me up. Fair play, mate. Thank you. Yeah, I'm an idiot. So please understand that, guys. I am an idiot. I am very, very rarely serious. Very rarely. Unless the occasion calls for it. See you later, Dazzler. No tennis for me, mate. No tennis for me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I'm the same. You're either into balls or engines, and I'm engines, I'm afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm glad I'm into motorsport. I was heavily involved in motorsport for a number of years. That's a whole other story. Do you get treated okay there? I'll get treated... do you know what? I've been in tears a couple of times by the way I'm treated here. In a good way. in a good way. It's humbling, very, very humbling. Yeah, I've you know, I've had occasions where people are so nice to me, and it's really confused me. Not so much now, I'm more used to it, but certainly when I first came here, I really wasn't expecting it. Was expecting the complete opposite, obviously, because, you know, I grew up in the West, so I thought the place was full of dragons, gangsters, and, you know, all sorts. And yeah, couldn't be further from the truth. The people have been lovely, so it's been quite humbling. So yes, I do get treated very well. I suppose same everywhere, good and bad, but because of what's going on. Yeah, exactly that. That was my, you know, we decided to come here in October 21 before the current situation. Made a commitment to, you know, build a house here. And then obviously it all kind of kicked off to a degree. And yeah, growing up in the West, you're programmed a certain way that, you know, well, they're obviously going to hate me. And the Russians' attitude is, why? Why am I going to hate you? What have you done to me? Yeah, I swear to God, that's true. There's always going to be an exception to that. You know, in any country, you can't say a country of 147 million, everybody's perfect. I'm not suggesting that. What I am saying is everybody I've met has been wonderful. Has been so friendly, have been so helpful. And with a Western mindset, they should all hate me, shouldn't they? You know, because let's face it, what kind of life are Russians having in England at the moment? One of victimisation, I'm sure. How many people have you watched walking around in England with a Russian t-shirt on, you know, or a Russian flag or anything? No, of course not. They'd be attacked, wouldn't they? Why? Well, because the newspaper says I've got to attack them. The newspaper says that we must hate them, we must demonise them, because that's our stupid Western mentality. What's good about Russian people is they're capable of critical thought, they're highly intelligent, and I do mean that most sincerely, they absolutely are. They're very well versed in world affairs, and they're more than capable of working out that treat people how you want to be treated and how they treat you. And whenever, you know, I've had that discussion with people, well, you know, I'm from England, sorry. They're like, what are you sorry for? You haven't done anything. Which is, you know, it's amazing. Staggering. Get that beer in, I'm on my way. Dazzler, you're on. No problem at all. I'll tell you what I'll do, Dazzler. If you rock up here, I'll buy you a bottle of champagne. How's that? Now, if you're in the West, that would sound proper JR, wouldn't it? That would sound like I'm a proper rock and roller. But I live in a wine and champagne region, so a bottle of champagne's about £2 here. So, to be honest, I'm being a bit of a cheapskate. Yes, yeah, you love my electricity bills, that's for sure. Tomsk in Wellington. Oh, yeah, Tomsk in Wellington, yes. Yes, Wombles. Sounds like a great day. Not many people around where you are at the moment. No, it's this is the hotels and the resorts main road. So it's end of season now, so most of them are closed or are closing. So no, there's not a lot of people around. Another apartment block, got a couple of shops in the bottom. Apteka, which is, as I've said before, chemist or pharmacy. And then we got some coffee and stuff next door. Beer, there's Piva there, look. Vino, oh, yes. As I said, wine region. Cosmetica. And Petrushka. So Petrushka is another supermarket chain, like a mini markets, like our Tesco Express in the UK. Very common, see them everywhere. I think there's something like 20,000 stores across Russia, or maybe that's Magnet, don't know. You get the idea, there's a lot of them. You sound like me with avoiding walking and enjoy eating. I was at an Irish pub yesterday. Yeah, them boys can drink. Whereabouts are you from originally, mate? I am originally from the UK, as far south as you can go without getting wet. So about 60 miles south of London, in a county called East Sussex, from a town called Eastbourne. I lived most of my life. He was going, but it's very interesting listening to me. Dad said, I'm really sorry, mate, you've got to get out more. Yeah, British sarcasm. My humour is sarcastic sarcasm. So a lot of people don't get me. Look at that. Look at that for a view, look, straight down into the sea. Ah, mega. Oh dear, I love this town, I really do. I don't like walking, but it's made an awful lot easier in this town. Hotel Adeline, Golden Bay. There you go, cutting the grass. There's always something going on in this town. There's always some maintenance of the parks, public areas. There's always something going on. And then you'll see derelict building next to it. You know, it's really eclectic. I haven't used that word for a while. Eclectic. Let's use it again. And that's what I like. And I'm going to do a live from my village soon. And you'll see what I mean. There are no two houses are the same. It's wonderful. So the Grand Sapphire we walked past earlier. Cracking hotel. Really good. Nice food, wonderful staff, nice facilities, brilliant location. I think the stream might have froze then, sorry. Russia on my bucket list, never know. May bump into one day. Nice to see someone on here that's genuine and true. I'm in Norfolk, okay, but done a lot of travelling in my younger days. Yep, know Norfolk fairly well. Swaffham racetrack, supermoto racing. Norfolk Broads, been around there a couple of times. What is that, America or Russia? Why are Soviets involved in the politics of the West? Okay. Do you know what? Before I delete you, I'll just answer that. Soviet? What's a fucking Soviet? Christ almighty. Where have you been? Under a rock? Idiot. Never got to Russia, and I try not to listen to the news or read newspapers. No, correct. We are sick of Russians living abroad pretending to be non-Russians who love Russia. We are sick of Russians living abroad pretending to be non-Russians who love Russia. Sick Soviet... Soviet... Oh, well, see, that's the trouble. This is what you get. You get an uneducated moron that's read a bit of newspaper. So, let me just park up just for a second while I deal with that fool. And goodbye. Easy come, easy go. Yeah, so you have to put up with that. And normally I don't bother rising to it, I just delete them, but, you know, sometimes it's just Soviet. It's not the USSR, you moron. Oh well, do some research, at least. Genix, I'm from Russia. Where is it? This is Anapa, on the coast of the Black Sea. Every Russian knows Anapa. There are so many drugstores in Russia, one may think we are very sick. Well, I'd counter that with that's the reason we're not very sick, or you guys are not very sick, because you have good access to medicines. So, yes, you could argue, oh, everybody must be sick, but you could equally argue nobody's sick because they've got access to medicines and certainly access to doctors. Case in point, if you're in the UK and you're ill today, when will you see a doctor? Because I'll tell you here, if I'm ill now, I will see a doctor in the next 2 hours. And if I don't really need to go and see him, I can call him on his telephone, which he will answer in surgery, because he wears a Bluetooth mic in his ear and he takes calls whilst he's in surgery from patients. Does your doctor do that? I don't need to ask that as a question because I know the answer. Should I have a little go at the boxer? Nah. That was a former life. 921? Pussy. Former life. But yeah, medicine out here is staggering. Truly staggering. What made me move to Russia? Coming out here on holiday in October 2021 with my wife, after she had not pestered me but mentioned it several times. So my wife's Russian. She had a flat in Anapa. We were in the UK. We met in the UK. I'd split up from my partner, who I had 2 children with, and I met my wife, some years ago. And she suggested that we could come to Russia on holiday. And this was before the current situation. But I didn't want to do that. I wasn't that keen, I'll be honest. And look, that's kind of cool. An interactive shop sign. That's cool. Didn't want to come to Russia. No thanks. Kept putting it off. Because it was snow, bears, gangsters, vodka, horse and car. That's what I thought Russia was. So I had no interest. But I love my wife, and it was the right thing to do, as I've said many times. It's the right thing to come and see where she comes from. So, and as she said, we've got a free holiday. So, being a tight Englishman, the offer of a free holiday, other than paying for flights, well, seemed quite appealing, didn't it? So we came for 3 weeks, and I didn't want to come here. I really didn't. I'm not going to lie. I avoided it until I eventually gave in and said, yeah, right. And I came here, and the first week I just wandered around in a daze, completely confused and disorientated. Actually had a row with my wife on day 5 in the middle of the town. I had to stop her and just say, stop. Because I just didn't know where I was. I didn't. And the reason was my eyes, what they were seeing, my brain couldn't understand, because it was like looking at the front cover of a book and then opening it up and seeing a completely different story. It just was so confusing. It really was. So I wandered around for the first week, not understanding, just what I was seeing. This can't be Russia. This isn't Russia. It can't be. And then second week, I just wanted to see anything and everything. And then third week, I said to the wife, I want to build a house here. I want to, well, we hadn't, discussed that, and I hadn't said that I wanted to move to Russia, but I knew that it was definitely going to be a big part of my life, and I knew that I wanted to build a house here. And at that point, we hadn't decided to move to Russia, and all of this was me. This isn't my wife dragging me to Russia. This is all driven by me and me falling in love with this country and the people. And then shortly after, I just thought, you know what? Everything here is better. The healthcare is better, and that's a big plus. The food's better. The climate's better. The people are lovely. It's a wine region, so the booze is cheap. Yeah, that was it, really. It was just the booze. The booze was cheap, so that's why we came. No, it was just everything looked better, and I just felt that we could have a much, much better life here than we could in the UK. So that's why we moved to Russia. Being sarcastic is the English way. Yes, I'm in Swaffham. Well, there you go. So, Swaffham racetrack, as they call it. We raced there a couple of times in Supermoto. I was heavily involved at one point in a race team, in Supermoto race team that was European and world level, British champion, etc, etc. Your village is called Stanitsa, where you live. No. Well, 3 miles from Swaffham. Ah, okay. Banger track at Swaffham now being sold to build houses, of course. Makes too much noise. It's not environmentally friendly, is it? Well, mate, I have to move on. A couple of videos to edit. Subscribe to your channel. Thank you. Look forward to the next video. Thanks very much. Nice to speak with you, Womble. These abroad Russians are, yeah, I have zero tolerance for nonsense. If somebody wants to come and have a debate and have a conversation, yeah, you know, even if it's about a subject that's touchy, I'm happy to do that on Telegram and talk. But if somebody's just going to come and just talk shit, I've got no time for brainless morons, I'm afraid. By the time I've seen a doctor, I'm either better or dead. Yeah. I generally avoid watching the news. Yeah, then you're doing the right thing. Napa, no, Anapa. A-N-A-P-A. So stick an A in front of that, Genix. Looks lovely there. It is. Very clean. It is. Sailor, good morning. Waking up. Blimey. Dazzler, best thing you've done by the sounds of it. Pleased for you. Nice one. Thank you, Dazzler. That's very kind of you. It's Anapa. Anapa. Yes, Anapa. Takes a while to get acclimatised and to get to know way of life. Yeah, it does. Yep, author speaking like cow. What are we watching? I've been staring at the road for... Well, I'm resting my little footsies because I have gone on a marathon walk. And I'm heading back into town now. So, sorry, sailor. I'll try and make it presentable for you. Right, I'm going to walk down here because I haven't been down here yet. So this is a fairly new development, building, whatever. You can see some of the shops still need to be filled. But this was a building site when we first came to Russia. Oh, look at that. Looky, looky. Look at that. It's blurry, isn't it, because of the glass. Oh, well, it's a model of the area. But some of these retail units need to be filled. And some of them are already in operation. And this is opposite the Grand Hotel. Oh, lucky that's Russian, otherwise I'll get copyright strike. Wine and champers. Clothing boutiques. Looks like model train set. Oh, model train set, look at that. Oh, cool. Little model train set. No idea what the place is. Model trains, I guess. Bloody idiot, Chris. It's got a model train set in the door. It's kind of the giveaway, isn't it, really? I do look slim now. It's good. That looks nice. Not sure about the shark drinking, though. It's fucking dodgy to me, that does. Can't go getting a shark pissed, can you? Only going to end in tears. Cafe. Oh, that reminds me of the Ivy in the UK. Been to the Ivy, anyone? Very similar. BG Lounge. So this is where I'd like to go. That's quite nice. Oh, that looks very nice. They've got a lovely roof terrace here as well, and a bar. Nice place to sit, just up there. and the glasses. Look out across the sea. End of season now, so we're heading for, what we're heading for, people? Halloween, of course. Yes, they do, I don't think celebrate's the right word, is it? I don't know. But they do have Halloween here. I'm not still speaking like a cow. Right, better get on with my decorating. Nice chatting, take care. And you, Dazzler, thank you. Shaky video. I have got a stabiliser, Gen X, and if you look at my videos, you'll see. But I'm walking. This is raw footage. I'll put you on some wood. There you go, is that better? Hello from Oz, 11:38 p.m. Ouch. So yes, it is a bit shaky because I'm just walking along with my phone in my hand. And I have got a stabiliser, or gimbal, but it's at home because I wasn't planning on doing this. Lots of fishing going on. Very popular here in Russia, bit of fishing. There's obviously plenty of fish here at the moment because they're all lobbing their hooks in the same place. I was hoping to see somebody catch something. Actually, now I come to think of it, I don't think I've ever seen anyone catch anything. And I know there's plenty of fish in here, they're all along the edges here, the little ones. So there's plenty of fish. But I don't think I've ever seen anybody catch anything. Interesting. Dreamers, nice. Gen X, okay. Yes, sorry about the, this is raw, unedited, natural. So, yeah, sorry, you'll have to put up with it. Right, we're just going to walk past a bloke who's always, well, he's always going to try and keep his nuts warm. Here he is. He's a lazy bugger. He's always here, sunbathing with his hat. Bless him. And we've got some swans and some cygnets. Hungry people. I am hungry now you've said that. I'm starving. Did your English children come to visit you yet? No, not yet. No, not yet. I was back in the UK in May, actually, of this year, so I saw them then. But they will, you know, when the time's right for them and their lives. I think they both want to come at the same time. Obviously, they've both got partners, though. They've got a tie. You can imagine 4 people trying to schedule work, etc., and get it all at the same time. Ooh, I can hear one of my favourite flying things, an helicopter. Yeah, there he is. Do like a jellywopter. Right, I've got low power for the second time. So that's ironic, isn't it? Because it cut out here yesterday. So if I just abruptly disappear, it's not because I've fallen down a hole. It's because I've run out of battery. But luckily I've caught up with the chat, so I won't be letting anybody down, which is good. A lot of fish in the sea, the baby fish though, 5 to 10 metres from the shore. There are schools of baby fish. There's lots of fish here, full stop. Would you say your channel is getting more traction recently? Do you know, Sailor, it's really odd. I mean, I did a live yesterday, I had nearly 17,000 views for a yesterday afternoon live. I don't know what this one's got. The censorship is real, it really is. You know, people don't get notifications for my channel, and it's not something that we can influence. And it's a real shame. I don't see why it needs to be censored. What am I showing? I'm showing the town in Russia. Why should that be censored? Well, it is. It is. So, but yes, it feels like it's getting a bit more traction. Obviously the live streams help, I guess. Bring people along to my channel. Just waiting at the crossing to get on across. Here's one of the areas for the kids. Jaywalking is illegal in Russia. You get fined, so nobody does it. Well, I don't say nobody. Sochi, they do it quite a bit, I noticed. Nobody seems to care down there. Well, no, that's not fair. I won't say nobody seems to care, but they certainly don't mind jaywalking. Whereas here, no, they don't do it. Right, we're off. Sailor, there you go. You don't get notifications, no. Oh, a bit of wind. Heading towards the car now, not far away. So this is end of season fun fair. So everything pretty much closed now. Shawarma, yum. I'm hungry now. Roller coaster, big wheel, one of Anapa's big wheels. I think there's 2 or 3. Wife doesn't like big wheels, doesn't like heights like that. So we dragged her on it, of course. She was very happy. A bit like when we went up the Spinnaker Tower. Is it Portsmouth? Went up the Spinnaker Tower with the wife, and it's got a glass floor in the top level. Yeah. We managed to get her to walk across the glass, and then halfway across she was holding on to me, and halfway across I decided it'd be really funny to let go of her arm and leave her there by herself. I won't do that again. That was not a smart move, Chris. I thought it was. That's my inner chimp, you see. My inner chimp just decides things like that are funny. And then I find out quite often afterwards, not so much. So, yeah. Yeah, I definitely won't do that to her again. Good example of why I'm an idiot. Come to Moscow, I can show you around the city. There's a lot to see. Yes, I did come to Moscow when we first came to Russia. Yeah, because we flew into Moscow and then got a 2-day train to Anapa. 2 days on a train, oh my God. Sorry about the wind noise, guys, but I'm about to run out of battery, so you know, it's what it is. My eyes don't go. My eyes, I go home, dudes. Okay, no problem. Yeah, Moscow. I mean, the trouble is Russia's so big. There's so many places that I want to go. I haven't even explored a tenth of our own region, let alone going outside it yet. If you don't know the language, how do you get by? My wife is fluent in Russian and English, her being Russian, of course. Our daughter is fluent in both. My stepson is fluent in both. The people here are extremely helpful. Awful lot of them speak English. Failing that, you've always got the phone and Google Translate. Come to Chelyabinsk city. No idea where that is. Is that a long way away? No, I think I parked my car along here somewhere. So I'm going to go and look for that now. Look at him. Yes, apologies for the poor camera work, but I am just wandering around holding my phone in my hand. Next time I shall do it with the gimbal. Anyway, thanks for joining me on my epic walk. Please like, share and subscribe. Please check out some of my other videos. Please share. Most important thing is sharing, because anybody in Russia producing content is victim of shadow banning now. Hey, Pusscat. So sharing is really important to us. But yeah, I hope I've given you, an interesting few hours, maybe. Bit of a wander, just up the hotel and spa resort region or area of our town. And yeah, I shall go the other way up the seafront next time I do a live. Show you the cliff top walk. But for the moment, I'm going to go and scout some food. Paka paka. Thanks for joining me. And I'll see you in the next one.